Time now for our culture interview. She's the Ghanaian actress and scriptwriter who became the first African woman to win a British Urban Film Festival Award for script. Now, Yvonne Ossei is moving into current affairs with her new show, Heart of the Matter, a debate show that investigates issues facing Afro-Caribbean communities across the globe. Before we talk to Yvonne about her new venture, let's take a look at the show.
There's a very strong statement on your website. It says, I'll just read this out. I want to tell you that those that say we cannot be gay and Christian are wrong. Those who said we're an abomination to God are wrong. Often what they want us to do is deny our God and our sexuality.
There is actually nowhere in the Bible that condemns homosexuality.
My Bible tells me that go ye into the world and multiply. So if man keeps on, having sex with men, how are we going to handle that?
For the heterosexuals that take go ye and procreate seriously, then have 20, 30 children and leave the gays alone.
Yvonne, thanks for coming in. It seems like a really interactive, debate-ridden show, that. How enjoyable is it to do, and just what are you trying to do with that show?
It's very enjoyable. It's very good to get some kind of polarised view on topics like homosexuality, something that actually is an international debate right now for African Caribbean nations. So what we wanted to do was really put somebody who was quite comfortable with religion and with homosexuality to the public sphere, to the African Caribbean sphere, and say, okay, well, this is what I believe. Let's discuss. Let's justify it according to this or that. So that's what we.
Do you think these are issues that are not currently covered enough in the media in terms of Afro-Caribbean people and their views and their attitudes towards these issues?
It's covered in one way, in a kind of polarised dynamic, as in anti kind of gay sentiments. This is what we believe. We believe it's anti-Christian. We believe it's anti-black culture. So you're only getting one kind of viewpoint from that, and we really wanted to get kind of a holistic understanding, and that's why we had also Dr. Rayo, who you didn't see in that clip, who was a historicist on that matter in issues surrounding kind of anti-gay sentiments and the historical relevance of them.
So that was the episode I think we were watching there on homosexuality. Yeah. There's also FGM, female genital mutilation, the black church as a business enterprise. These are all quite punchy issues. Do you find yourself getting worked up, fired up in the debates?
It's interesting because absolutely everyone gets worked up about it. Producers, camera people. The debate goes on long after the show was aired. So that was we had an interesting couple of recording sessions on that. And even afterwards, people that I know, people who know the panellists, it gets people talking, and that's the whole point of Heart of the Matter, just to get to the crunch of the issue.
Well, that's it. It also makes great TV, but it's also great to have a show where you have people disagreeing. You don't want to do a show where everyone's on the same page, because that's not that interesting. Do you find that you end up coming to any kind of conclusion at the end of the show, or are people always at loggerheads?
We kind of left at loggerheads on that particular episode, and people kind of tend to be more humbled by the experience. That they've listened to other things that they didn't really understand. A lot of the time, the historical aspects of it, they didn't understand. So when we can put that to them, for example, that colonialism created some of the colonial laws with regards to homosexuality, many people aren't aware of that. So when we put that to them, it kind of allows them to have a different perspective. Or
yeah, and I guess also exposing people to a different point of view when maybe they're so stuck in their own ways is a good chance to educate everyone. You're the executive producer of the show as well as presenting it. Just how involved in the whole process are you?
There are two executive producers, myself and Bernard Cordier. He does a lot of the technical and the business aspect of it, and I guess I was more involved in bringing the front of the show together. So yeah, it's something we conceived as a partnership. We worked on it for about 8 months now. So we just decided to really get down and put the show together. And
it's a bit of a shift from what you were previously doing, which is working as an actress.
Yeah.
Is this something you've always wanted to do, to go into more current affairs debate style things, or is it just something you've ended up doing because that's what you're interested in?
Okay, well, I'm an actor and a presenter, so I've done some theatre, Stratford Theatre, Pleasance Theatre, and I've done some short films, and I presented a couple of radio shows as well. So it's kind of, artistically, I find it kind of interrelated, and I will still be acting and going back to that. So yeah. And how influential has your upbringing and your heritage been? You're obviously Ghanaian. How important is that to you, and how often do you think, or how much influence do you think that plays in what you do now? I think it's probably why I do what I do. I am an Afrikaner woman, obviously of Ghanaian descent. And so the issues that we discussed, I had, I guess, an insight into those. These are the things that my family or my culture kind of takes issue with to some extent. So these are the things that I was able to pick out very quickly and say, look, these are the things that we can discuss. And people may be reluctant to discuss them, but I think we should put these issues on the table and give people the opportunity.
And tell us a bit about where people watching this can see this programme, because you've recorded a number of them, but I don't think any of them come out yet.
Okay, what we're doing is we're putting out the full episode on homosexuality. We're putting that out online on the 16th of June at 9 a.m. so people can watch that, and the series after that will be aired on TV in this country and also in Africa. We're in negotiation with a number of TV stations who are very keen on the topic, so yeah. And actually can be watched on YouTube. And if people want to follow the show, they can go on the Twitter account, which is @HOTM World.
And given that it hasn't come out yet, obviously haven't been able to gauge much public reaction, but the people who've been on the show and the people, it's the studio audience, I guess, what has the reaction been after you've recorded these? Have they been positive and, you know, enlightening experiences for them?
Well, they're positive. It's positive in terms of the style and the production value. They really like the show. In terms of the content, not everybody agrees with homosexuality in kind of Afro-Caribbean cultures. And some people have had a change of heart, some haven't. But that's, I guess, what this show is about.
Yeah, absolutely. Giving people choices, letting people know the facts, and educating everyone. Thank you very much, Yvonne, for coming in. Best of luck with the rest of the series, and best of luck when it comes out. I'm sure it'll be really well received. Thanks for coming in.